Welcome back, everybody. Uh, though I realize that there are plenty of YouTubers out there covering Marvel Contest of Champions, and I appreciate every single one of them. One of the things that I've come to realize is that there are a lot less people that have accounts small enough to demonstrate the current meta of the game for lower level accounts. People who have not reached the top two title progressions, which at the current moment are Thronebreaker and Paragon. I personally have two accounts, which one of them I'm currently playing badly on, as you can see. My main account I have had for close to 7 years, and my backup account, which is the one you're seeing now, I have had for over 4 years. My backup account here is currently not even uncollected yet. And then I just recently reached Cavalier on my main account. Though I do appreciate the fact that the upper tier guys, Prof Hoff, Rich the Man, Seaton back in the day, Katie Candy back in the day, KT1, Karate Mike, they all cover quite a bit of stuff, and they all have most all of them have guides out there on how to become uncollected, how to become Cavalier, and so on. But most of those are several years old, and a lot of the champions in the game didn't exist when they recorded those content. A lot of the champions in the game hadn't been reworked the way they are now. And so I thought maybe it might be nice to have somebody in the community with a few years' experience under their belt that isn't a top tier player and doesn't do everything. Doesn't have isn't either just going to walk through it with 3 stars or and has limited rosters so that they don't have the top tier champs, and just kind of see what it's like, see that it is still possible. Yes, I will fully admit that my longevity in the game does give me some benefit from a skill level, but at the same time, I know I have personally taught many people in multiple alliances that I have led how to play this game better than I can by far. Almost every one of them that I spent years teaching and helping grow have gotten to the point where they are Thronebreaker or Paragon themselves. While I continue to, like I said, have one account that hasn't even hit uncollected and one account that isn't, that I just recently became Cavalier on. I'm going to be doing some major pushes over the next week in hopes to get at least one of these accounts to a further progression. And I figured it was a nice time to go ahead and show some of these things. But also, that will give me an opportunity that with the Cyber Weekend deals coming up this weekend, though I do believe a lot of the guys do a really great job, and even some of them occasionally do look at the Cavalier and uncollected deals still, more often than not, does everybody cut off with the Thronebreaker. It's Thronebreaker, Paragon, and that's it. So I thought maybe at least I could put out something early and share what some of the deals look like, what going through it with a limited roster that's still very obtainable, understanding some of the things that I've always preached to the different guys in my alliances, and that is, don't worry about what the top champions are, worry about the ones that you enjoy playing, the ones that you found that you can work with, the ones that will get you through the content, because I can tell you who the best champions are according to YouTube. I can tell you who the best champions are according to me. I can tell you who the best champions are for many different ways. But if you can't use those champions and you're actually better with Cyclops than I am with Tigra, then Cyclops is who you need to be concentrating on leveling up. It may be a little more difficult, and I will tell you from personal experience that on many occasions have I held out on champions that other people didn't understand why I continued to play, because they were the champions not only that I personally enjoyed, but also they were the champions that I was comfortable using. So I'm going to show you some gameplay from some champions that maybe you don't see everybody else using all the time. On my main account, I do have a 5-star Hercules. He's not awakened yet, so that limits him a bit. And I primarily use my 6 stars anyways. On this account, as you can see, I primarily am running 5 stars. My lead one being Captain Marvel movie, who plenty of people raved about in her early days, but she's kind of slipped to the wayside for several people, especially if you don't have the Nick Fury synergy with her, which I do have on my main account, by the way. But I've also went in with her in Alliance Quest, nearly did, and still came out taking down Thanos in a one-shot because I had it ramped up enough. I'm playing with a Star-Lord here, and Star-Lord still has a lot of use to him. Obviously, he got overshadowed by Aegon, and then Aegon got overshadowed by plenty of others. But even with Star-Lord's usage, he doesn't do nearly as much for me on this account as he does on my main account, because unfortunately I still have not had the ability to awaken him yet. And he does truly need to be awakened to have his full potential. But I still use him because I knew that he would be somebody that I wanted to be using until from the second I pulled him. So I went ahead and leveled him up early, hoping to dupe him, and I still never have. So he continues to be a top champ, continues to do a lot of work for me, while at the same time nowhere near his full potential, and which makes my mistakes even bigger. But this is also just my way of showing that it's not about making sure you have the perfect champions. It's not about making sure that they are in their best form. It's about using the champions you enjoy using, the champions you know how to use, the champions that work for you, and pushing through content. Because, as you can see here, I by far did not play perfect. I by far have made plenty of mistakes. And yet, here I am coming up on the final boss of this level and about to clear a level that I've been hesitating on for months that would have actually helped grow my account. So occasionally, the best thing you can do is just make sure you got a few potions, a few revives, and your best guys, and push on through. I hope some people will decide to join me on some of these journeys as I go ahead and push through with the current metas, current champions that I have available to me on each account, and go through and do runs towards Uncollected on this account, and eventually Cavalier. And I will be pushing for Thronebreaker on the main account, plus doing some arena, talking about some of the things that I've done as an alliance leader to earn quite a few people's respect and help make the game a better place during my time. Remember to like and subscribe so you can follow each and every video. I look forward to growing with each and every one of you and hopefully inspiring some that feel like they can't do it until they get that perfect champion, that sometimes it's just better to go ahead and push forward no matter if you got it or not.